Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you are having good time. Okay, so today we'll be talking about Java programming, so we'll wait a little bit for others to join. I'll just set up my screen and then we'll go ahead. I hope you can hear me clearly because I'm connecting from outside the country. So I hope the connection is good and you can hear me. The only issue here, I have only one screen, so I cannot see those people who are raising their hand. I will try to switch between the screens from time to time to make sure that I can see you. Maybe the best way I do it, I'll take you and put you here in another window. This is better. And let's create another window. You're not seeing what I do, but what's important is you get this organized. One here, we will open. Yes. Tell me.
Doctor, we cannot see your screen.
Yeah, you cannot see because I'm hiding it on purpose because I'm arranging my screen to look nice, and then things will be fine. I'll share screen in a minute. Okay, so let me share screen now. Go back here to this, click share screen. Now you can see, isn't it? Well, let me see who is here. Here you are, you're coming. We'll wait for 1 minute more. You can see there is 56 now. Usually we get 170 something. That we will see. Okay. Okay, I think we will start because we are on time. And today we'll be talking about Python programming. So we had Java, we finished our best time with Java, and we have seen in Java many things. We see Java is more structured. It has some rules like you cannot use variable unless you declare it, you decide what data type it will store, and you continue using it that way. If you need to have any Java program, at least you should have one class, a main class or whatever, and in that class you should have or you must have a main method with very clear structure: public, static, void, main, string, argument, and details. And the semicolon is very important for it. Moving from one data type to other data type is not that straightforward. And you can use arrays, and you can use functions, methods, and you can divide your code in multiple files or multiple classes. And from that class, you can create objects in the main method and you link them. And we've seen how we can link, or how we did link the student class with the course class, for example. Sorry, we did not upload the video of last time, but hopefully I will upload it today, and you can go through that one. So I think we gave you the basics and maybe year one course on Java. The only missing maybe components on that one is we didn't do something called error handling using try and catch. Hopefully we'll do it in Python because we didn't have time, and you can see how it will work there. But we also gave you a little bit of the next level course, which we talk about classes and objects. So you have some good foundations, and if you read now and go through study and look at examples and watch videos and practice yourself, you will master uh, Java programming. My experience with if you want to master anything, you need just to practice. And mastering things means what? Means you can do it without even you need to think. You want to do something, just you go and do it. Why you're able to do that? Because you practice it, you repeated it. It's like driving a car. When you are beginning to drive the car, you're worried about the traffic light, the roundabout, the cars beside you, the car behind you. You still stay worried about it. But at that time, you'll be very worried about it. You need to be sure that nothing goes wrong. When you drive and drive and drive, it becomes something very simple and easy to do. So you master it. You know how to deal with it. Mastering means you practice. Practice more, think about things, create different solution, question some of the things and explore it. This is the way you can learn. So let's get into Python, and we'll find Python has its own thing. It's like when you switch from learning English to French to Spanish to other things. What are you looking for? You're looking at how you can say this in that language. What is the grammar of that language? Some languages, they are in reverse order. You want to say good morning, you say morning, good, something in, in that sequence. So you need to know the grammar or the sequence you have to do things on that one. And what is allowed to say in certain situation, what's not allowed to say. These things you learn. Programming language very similar to that, but the good thing, the commands, the main commands are almost the same. Like there is for loop in Python, there is for loop in Java, there is for loop in C, there is for loop in Pascal. If you learned Pascal a long time ago, there is for loop in BASIC, but the way you do it is slightly different. But the concept is the same. It should have three components. All of them have these three components: that the initiation, the condition to continue, and the increment, and things like that. So each language has its own way to do things, but the core is the same, because the core is the programming skills. Programming skills is not uh, always specific to a language. It's a skill that transferable, means you can apply it to other languages. Of course, we need some time to learn the other language and see how we do it. Please mute your microphone if you're not intending to speak, because I can see some noise in the background. So those who are not, yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's get in Python. So Python is a high-level programming language. This word high-level, Python is high-level, C is high-level, Java is high-level, JavaScript, if you can call it a programming language, uh, all those languages are high-level. Now, what does it mean high-level? It means it's not really dealing directly with your computer hardware, with your computer memory and your computer uh, processor. It's a language that human can understand, and this is why it's high level. But the actual language that the computer understand, called machine language. Machine language is using only 0 and 1 and special instructions to do that. And to get to machine language is very complicated. If you want to write just a program to add two numbers, you will spend ages to do that. So why we came with this high level language, or programmer came with it to make it easy for human to understand. So we created a high level, and that high level get translated or converted to machine language by different things in your computer. So it's a high level means similar to human language when you get that high level. It is not compiled language. It is interpreted. Interpreted is between compiled and between just high level. It means what? Now, when you write a code, it does the compiler of your language or interpreter here doesn't translate it to 0 and 1. It translates it to something called bytecode, which in between the two. This is the same in Java. And why Java and Python became widely used now and they can work on any machine, because they are not getting into the specific hardware. It's getting into a level in between. It's little slower than the others, but as I said before, because the machines now became very fast and very strong, that speed is not relevant anymore. Um, and it's known for its simplicity and readability. It's simple language. You can start directly by writing your code without any additional things you need to do, and we'll see that one. And it is widely used in almost every field. In data analytics, that's the biggest strength of it. In artificial intelligence, if using ChatGPT 4 or and you do some advanced prompts, you will see that ChatGPT will create a Python code and run that code, produce some result, and then send it back to you. It's hidden, you don't see it. You have the option to allow it to show it. Later, maybe I'll show you that one to see the actual thing happening in the back end, or not back end, by ChatGPT. The more thing is doing to produce the result for you. It's not only the outcome to do. So in artificial intelligence, used widely in facial recognition and biometric data and in forecasting, weather forecast, so many things. It's been used. And scientifically, it's very good as well. People who use MATLAB, in engineering, MATLAB is widely used. Python now is taking part of that one because Python does similar thing like what you can do in MATLAB. So it's a more a scientific language to help you understand scientific phenomena. Okay. The biggest thing is readability and simplicity, but it's wide range of application. It is cross-platform, means work on any iOS, on Android, on Windows, on Linux, name that. It's large standard library. It has a huge library similar to Java, but I have to say it's larger than Java because the community on Python is very strong. Community means those programmers who work together and develop things and they share it with others and others take it and improve it and share it with others and things like that. So it has a huge community that you can learn from. Anything you get stuck in Python, if you just go in Google or anywhere you ask, you will find a large community who've been working maybe with the same, or at least they'll give you some ideas on how you can fix this issue. It integrates with so many things. It's great for prototype. Prototype means if you want to create a project just for testing the concept, the idea you have, and you don't want to spend too much money on doing it. Python is good. Why? Because it gets you quickly able to produce a prototype, to think of certain ideas that you may have. There is a high demand for it in the job market. Now it's number one in terms of people looking for programming skills. So it's at really high demand. So many educational resources. You'll find videos, courses, books, tutorials, so many things available on Python programming, so you can advance your learning. And there is strong support and data science and AI related. So how you get started with Python if you want to write a simple Python code? Remember, when we start in Java, we need to write main class, public class main. Then inside you have put a method public, static, void, main, string, argument, and then open bracket. And then we write system.out.println hello world semicolon, and close that bracket and close the other bracket. All these things we need to do. In Python, just you go there and write print hello world, and you'll get the hello world coming on the screen. You don't need all this additional thing. You just focus on what you want to do, and the language will take care of it. Now, in the data type side, remember, I'll just give you a few revision about it, then we'll go into some tutorial and I'll do some activities ourselves. So in data types, if you remember in Java, we need to declare the data type. We say this is int x or double x or string name or is true Boolean or anything. We have to declare it. Even the scanner class, we need to say scanner S or scanner1. If in student class, we need to say student1. So declaring a variable in Java is a must. Here, no, there's no need. You can just say x equals 5, and that's it. In Java, if you declare something x equals x as integer, if you want to assign it um, a double value, you will get an issue. If you want to use it to store text after you declare it as integer or a number or whatever, you cannot. Here you can call it x and you give it a number, and after one line you say x equal put quotation Abu Dhabi University. So you can convert it to a text with no issue. We'll see that in practice. So it's very flexible. You can change the variable from being numeric to any other data type, the same one. You can change it with no issue to do. Of course, you have all these numbers, float, you just put a decimal point there. You don't have to say this is float, a text, and also you have the Boolean, which true and false to do. Now, in Java, we learn arrays, and we said arrays is the same variable you use to store so many data. But the way we declare array, we can have to say the data type. We can say int, fruit, for example, equal, and then a brace note. Here, it's very simple. You don't need to say it is int or it is whatever. So fruit, and you just put inside your data. So this one, for example, fruits has 3 elements, has apple, banana, and then you can just print 0, similar to what we did in Java. 0 will print apple, put 1 will print banana. The concept is the same to the array. Given that you know these things, I'll just take you through a way to look at it from that angle. The other thing in Python is strong, which again available in Java, but we didn't do it, something called dictionary. So I can create something called person, and this person, I have a name for him, I have an age for him, I have a city for him. And then I can put values for it. So name, colon, John, age, colon, 30, city, New York, for example. So this is the person has all these things. If I want to know the name of that person, I can say person name will go and find me his name. If I want to get the age, I can say person age between quotation. It will go to the age and print 30 for me. If I want city, of course, person, city, do that. So this is something called dictionary, which use in Python. It uses brace instead of square bracket, but in the list you use square bracket. Here you use, but here you need a variable and a value for it, a variable and a value for it, and you continue that way. So we will do all these things in more practice during all the coming time, but just want to get you a big picture to do. The if statement is very similar. The brackets is optional in this case because you have only one variable. So this is very simple. If this happened, then else, remember you need a colon here. In Java, you don't need this colon. You just say else, and then here you need to put colon here. But you notice in Python, the indentation of the code is important. Print is pushed to the right to indicate this is part of the true statement. And this print push to say this is part of the else statement. If you put it on the same line, become not part of the else statement. We will practice this, you will understand it more. Now the for loop, this is similar maybe to the one we had recently, but anyway, this is for I in range of 5. This is the way it works with the for loop here. This can be a list as well for X and fruit. Remember we had that fruit one. For F and fruit, same thing, okay? So this basically going to a range from 1 to 4, okay? And we'll bring from 0 to 4, and that's what it will do. So for loop is the same, similar somehow. There is while and do while. I'm talking here about while. While, again, similar thing. While, then you have a condition. So while count is less than 5, we start the count 0. Then you print count. Then you increase count by 1. You go into this loop until count gets 5. Then it will skip all the thing and stop. And you'll notice the colon here is needed to say this is the coming code is part of this. Then the functions or the methods. In Java, we learn that so many different methods. One that receive parameters and return the value. There is a method that doesn't receive parameter but return the value. There is a method doesn't receive or return to do. The same concept here, but it's a more simplified. So here, if you want to create a method, you use the word def. Def is a method or a function. So you use function. Here they call it function, they don't call it method. So def with the same thing, yeah, but the name is different. So you need to start it by def, and then you come with a name. There is no void, there is no string, there is no integer, nothing. You just come with a name, def name, and then the variable that it will receive. Again, the variable, I don't need to say this is string. I just put the variable. That's it. And then it will take that variable and display it on the screen. So that's how it will display it to do. Okay, and then you can just print, call it. If you want to call that method greet, you want to call it, you just call it and provide the data for it. So I'm calling greet and sending Alice as the input. So it will go and print saying hello Alice on the screen. Again, import is the same. Java has huge library, as you said, so you can import many things based on that you do. It's another method to add two numbers and return the value. Although it's returning, but I have nothing saying here, string, anything. Python is very simplified. Cut all the things that you don't need to think about it. So this is adding two numbers, A and B. If I call this one and provide 5 and 6, it will get 5 and 6, come here, add them together, and display back to me 11. That's how it works. Okay, their data, dealing with data is very strong, like reading files, Excel files, or I think we'll come to that one. This is the try and catch. Let's get into some practice before we get lost. Let me just see if any question, any comments. I can see. Let's okay, it's good. Okay, questions, no questions. Hands, no hands. So far we are okay. Let's do some really good things. You'll love it. So let's do it here, and we'll come here on our rebel. So how to program in Python? We will use two things this time. One is we'll use rebel today to have some fun and get started, but then we'll switch to another language, another platform called Anaconda, which Python, but it allows us to do more in-depth analysis, and we'll use something called Jupyter notebook, uh, and these are the industry standards. These are what the people using in the industry. So today, in our REPL, which we are familiar with it, we'll click here, and we need to look for Python. Yeah, Python. Now today I will use something funny, little bit, something called Turtle, Python Turtle. Maybe some of you have used it before, but it will allow us to do some nice graphics. Don't use the normal Python. Later we'll come to this one when we need. So let's come here on Turtle and let's get there. Now Turtle is a very good to get you to learn programming concept without being without getting into very complicated things. Let me just delete this, the comments. See the comments in Python, they start with these three quotations, and then you can have a block of text you can add as comments, okay? But for each line in Java, we used to use, remember, we used to use this to slash. No, here it doesn't work. You need to use hash to add comment. So each language has its own on things. So we need to be patient with these languages. Okay. Okay. So this is our first code. Okay, let's leave that one. This is our first code, which I want to explain it to you. This is the basic Turtle application, which will draw something. See if I will explain it, then we'll go. So we are importing something called Turtle. Turtle, you know the turtle, السلحفاة, to do. And we'll use this turtle to draw very nice, beautiful shapes on the screen with different ways. And learning programming as well at the same time. So what we will, let me delete all these things because they may confuse you, and then I'll come to them later. So we imported Turtle. To do that, we will need to get a screen equal turtle.screen. Screen means a window will appear when we run our code, and then we'll give it the size 1:1, and we created an object called turtle. Now, if you use this turtle and say t forward 100, okay, this will do what? It will draw for us a line that is 100. Did it draw? I think it draw. It did draw that 100. Then if let's say left 20 and then another 100, and left 20 and another 100. Let's do this. See if it will come. Same time. Yeah, here is it. And let's do another left and another left and 90. And now with this one, I'm drawing a square, as you can see. Yeah. So basically, I'm going forward by 100 lines, then turning left 90 degrees and going up with another 100, and then going forward, okay, and then turning left and doing this. If I run this one now, it should close this square. So this is a very simple thing we did so far. So it's just instructions. As you said, programming is three things. One is sequence of your operation. You do things in sequence. So I'm doing it in sequence, going 100 forward, flipping by 90, then going another 100, then flipping. This is a sequence I'm doing to draw a square. If I want to draw a triangle, there will be a different way. I have to follow instructions. So I need to change the angles and do things like that. So the sequence is important in the language. Okay. The next thing is important in the language is, as we said, is the repetition. You need to repeat things multiple times. How we do repetition? Let's do this one. Let's make a turn by only 5. Yeah, at the end. So we do all this and do only 5 turn, angle 5 only. See, look at it, it's small turn. See, this head has turned slightly to the right because I said 5. If I said 45, just to show you how this has happened, so you can see it's turned now more 45. Yeah, I know, maybe you didn't see the screen, but let's keep it 5. I need a small turn. Assume I do this 5 and repeat all this 100 times. What shape I will get?
Sir, it will be like a consecutive squares.
Sorry?
It will be like a consecutive squares, one square over the other square with different
Yeah,
different
yeah.
size.
But it's not going to be over the square because every time it's turning by 5. So it's not on it exactly. It's a little bit twisted by 5 angles. So let's see how it will happen. So we'll use for loop now. For I in range of, say, 100. Okay. Now I need to push all this inside the 4. Otherwise, they will not be repeated. They will be outside. Okay. So I just only did 100 now. So I said for I in range of 100. Okay. That's what I have done. Oh, I still have here. Still I have here. Now, if I do this now and draw, do you see the shape coming? Maybe I should make it.
Sir, it should be turned right, I think so.
Huh? So this is the shape we're getting now. This is the shape we're getting now. Let's make it maybe bigger. Let's look. Because of that repetition, it's turning by just small angle 5 and keep drawing all those shapes, and if I keep it continue for maybe more than 100, I may get a very nice shape. If I make it only one, turning by only one, it will be better. But now it's very slow, yeah? It's very slow. Why? How I can make it faster to draw this little faster? Let's stop that. One thing, Turtle has something called speed. T dot speed, and let's make it 200. Okay, and let me turn only by one and make this one go to 200. Let's see what will happen. Now it's drawing it faster than before. And as you can see, the shape is getting and more. Okay, that's very nice, isn't it? What do you think of these shapes? Okay, let's get some questions and then we'll see if anyone has any questions. If you have any questions, just raise your hand if you want to ask anything about what we did so far. So we make sure you understand it before we go to the next thing. Yes, Muhammad.
So Python is mostly about shapes.
No, I'm using shapes only to show you the programming logic. But Python will do almost anything you think about it. So Python, as you said, it's an artificial intelligence. It can analyze complex data. It can work with some neural network, and can work with machine learning technique. It can deal with data, large, huge data, to analyze it and do it. It can use with connecting multiple platform and making integration between them. It's used in video creation. It's used in, if you do 3D modeling and 3D animation, Python is very strong there in terms of creating sophisticated, more custom type of 3D modeling you want to do. Python is in so many things, but I'm using the easiest thing for someone who is not really a programmer, getting into programmer, to get to know Python. So today, this is what we did, but not because we did this graphics and shape, that means everything Python will do shape. We'll be later doing some data analytics. We'll look at drawing some chart and graphs. We'll be analyzing large data. We'll do lots of things with Python in this course. But just want you to understand now the concept. This is why I'm using the graphic one. Okay, any other questions, Shabab? Another hand? Where is Stephen and others who know Python? Hor, yeah, Hor. Hor, you put your hand up. Why you put it down?
Sir, I wanted to ask that can we do data analytics in Python Turtle?
No, it's not Turtle. We will be using, as I said, we'll be using something called Jupyter Notebook to do data analytics. Will be the class on Monday. We'll focus on Jupyter Notebook to use, not Turtle. Turtle just to get you to know the how.
Note, sir, notebooks are used for running generative AI models, yeah?
Yeah, it can be used for generative AI model as well. Yeah, you can create a version of ChatGPT using Python, using Notebook and OpenAI library. Yeah, but Notebook is the industry standard for doing data analytics with Python. Any other questions, Shabab? No, I have an exercise for you. Today I want to make you busy. It's simple, yeah? Why don't you create some nice shapes using this one and put it in the chat? So I want some of you go and create some nice shapes with this one. Now, this is one thing. You can draw a car as well. For example, if I want to draw a car, I can just use left, right angle and change it and create a car on the screen. I want to draw a house. I can use those forward, left, right, and I can do also a house. I can do anything. So I want you to use this just to draw some nice shapes and take screen capture of it and put it in the chat.
Can we draw any shapes or does it
Any
have to be a
shape,
regular shape?
any shape. I leave it to your imagination. I want the one who show me the best shape that he or she can come with. Okay, so let's see what will come from you. I'll give you 10 minutes to come with the shape. Then we'll talk.
So before that, could you say how to make a circle, or is the same method?
Yeah, a circle, you need I don't know if circle can be done in Turtle. How, but I can draw it using the mathematical formula. How to make a circle in Turtle Python.
For circles, you just need to use t.circle.
Here is import Turtle. Oh, there is called circle. There's something called circle here. Yeah. So if you can use this one, yeah, circle, and you decide diameter of that circle, it will do it. Yeah, that's it. If you say T here, yeah, the code here instead of T, which I'm using, became with something called circle turtle. So you just put T dot circle 100, it will do it. And then you have hide turtle and thing like that. So you just use whatever ChatGPT other to learn T circle. I didn't use turtle in my programming, but I'm using it to help you to just to get to know how it works. Like, let's do that now. Let's do the circle. I'll put it inside this one, so it will come so many, and we'll make it this one. Let's see how complicated this. Oh, this is the circles coming. It's coming like strange thing, yeah. So you have circles being drawn and circles moving. So we'll get something like a tube after some time, maybe. And then also we have the other things being repeated. So use your imagination, find other ways to do it. Go to any tools you like, ChatGPT and other, and try to learn more. How to change color, for example. How you can, but don't get it to do for you the task. Get to know how to do certain things. Like now we learn how to do circle, then we can start using it to do things. This is the way you can learn more. Yeah, it looks nice image with circle around it and something in the middle. I didn't imagine this one to be like this, but you can use your imagination to do. But looks nice, but it was bigger than the screen size. So I could have used, instead of 100, I could have used maybe 50, and it will give me some better shape. Okay, if I use maybe 100 or maybe 100, maybe 100, 150 maybe. Yes, 100 will do something maybe within the dimensions of my screen little. Okay, I'm just waiting for to see some great things happening on the chat to show us how we do, how you can use this one. Now, also find me how to change the color. Change the color. How we can change the color? Again, you can ask. ChatGPT will get you the answer. Okay, I'm looking at some of the chat now and hoping to see. Sorry, I am facing some issues with the Wi-Fi. No issue. I had some issues. Okay, thank you. Good. I think Java is generally faster. Good.
So you can use T dot color.
Yes, you can use that color. Correct. Yeah. Show me how you're going to use it, and copy and paste some of the nice thing you do in the screen. I downloaded Python, but how to add it? Okay, we'll come to this download later because I will show you the how to download Anaconda once we get that. Now you put the code for me. This is good. This is the shape. Yeah, okay. So this is with color, and you made this is very good. Who is this one? This Rudransh. Rudransh, sorry, Rudransh, if I'm saying your name wrong. But this is great. Thank you. Very nice. Okay, let's see who else will do some nice color. Okay. Good. Okay. Should I expect more? Are you busy working or you are use thumb up if you're coding? Otherwise, I will go and explain some other things. Okay, this is good. So now how can we convert this code into a function? Yeah, I see there is a hand here. Very good. Yes, Khadija. Khadija, you have a question? You're on mute. I can't hear you. Please unmute your microphone. Okay, we'll move to 8268 Rayhan. Rayhan,
Yeah, hello, hello.
hello, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Good,
I'm
I'm
great.
hearing you.
So how are you? Yeah. So by function, do you mean like defining like a function?
Yeah, defining a function. Yeah, using def.
Yeah, def. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
use that and then you put the code inside the statement.
exactly. And then we call it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. We'll do it. Now, did you draw anything? I
I'm
can
trying to.
see. Oh, very good. I can see some nice drawing. I think you can see it here. This one from Danish. Oh, nice. I like this color. How beautiful. Look like a textile type of things which you can print on some clothes and things. It looks nice. Very beautiful. See, you have some condense here and then less here, and very nice. Really like it. Good. Thank you for that. Is it okay if I just send the code because it can send the picture? Okay, you can send the picture, but if you don't send the code, no issue. Well, the code require me to run it to know how it will come. I have a lot more experience with Python than Java. Very good. That's what we need. If you have more than Leyland, it's good. This is nice one, and I can see you have did T right after the for loop. Well, I don't know why you did that, but just to continue. Okay, this is good. I like this. This is very condensed. Nice, yeah. I like you change the background as well of the canvas. That's very good. I like it. Thank you for that. You are creative people, yeah? Oh, this is nice. It reminds me of something, but I can't remember. I saw it on somewhere. Looks very nice. You can vote for who is the best drawing so far. See, if you want to do the same thing like this one in Java, just draw this shape in Java. It's a very complicated, I have to tell you. We need to use something called JavaFX or something called Swing or TWA. And we'll need to create some classes. We need to add components to each other. It's a very complicated. It will take you a long time to do just this small drawing on Java, which doesn't mean now Python is better than Java. No, in these areas, Python, of course, better. But the other areas, Java is better to do. but Python is gaining momentum. I like this shape as well. It's very nice because you created a better shape, not a square. Very good. Like it. And you already have 2 votes, Sabri and Ivy. Very supportive, Ivy and Sabri. And here, this is the highest one, unknown user. And very good. Yeah. Oh, this is very good. Oh, I love it. So many colors and coming inside each other and things like that. Anyway, beautiful. The way you draw it is really nice. They use very beautiful way. Zaim, Zaim, you are Zaim in this one. You did excellent. Yeah, all good. Yeah. Now we know how we can do this, and let's just hear some of your questions if you have questions. Rayhan, are you still there? You want to ask question, or this is an old hand? And then we have Mariam, and then Muhammad. Mariam, unmute your microphone, Mariam. You are on mute. I think this is why you can hear you now, hopefully. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I couldn't I like nobody sent me an email or anything about the certificate because I have a problem with my email for a while, so nobody was like able to send me anything, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Ivy will come back to you. Now she heard you. She can see your name. She will come back to you. But the certificate will be at the end of this modules. When we finish all of them, we will send you the certificate. But Ivy will come back to you.
Okay,
She's
thank you.
here. Good.
Okay.
Muhammad?
When I try to run the code, the t and t dot forward tells me it's wrong.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Can you share screen? And do you have the option to share screen?
Uh,
Can you? Do you see that share screen there? If you don't see it, I think now you can share screen. I think Sabri gave you access, maybe.
I'll try.
Yeah,
No, I can't.
you can. Okay, can you take a picture of the code and put it in the chat so I can see what your issue? This, if you do that, then we'll look at it. Okay. Any other questions, Shabab? Once you add it to the chat, we'll see what we can do. But usually, you have. Did you check? Yeah. Okay, let's go into the function. I think most of you doing some amazing thing. Oh, this one. How did you do this beautiful one? Yeah, I think you're just moving. There are things like pin up and pin down. You know, when you write on a piece of paper, if you put the pen up and you move it, then it will draw on the paper, isn't it? If you want to move to another place in the paper, you cannot keep the pen on the paper. You take it up and then you go to the other place and draw. Here there is something similar called pin up, pin down, pin up, pin down. And here we use that pin up, pin down to move the location of the picture, which is beautiful. I love it. And
I put a picture.
okay, you put a picture, okay. Here is, that's you, Muhammad. Let's see if I can see your picture. No, I think you didn't put the picture. You put a link to something. Yeah. This is a picture. Where did you put the picture? Is this the one you put here? Download. Okay. I'm sure if you did that, better go to the download. I don't see it, Muhammad. You see, the picture should appear directly like this, and yours is coming strange here. I think it's not saved as a JPEG or any picture, saved as something else. Maybe. But these are beautiful things, Shabat. I'm very happy to see all this beautiful work you created just by using this command. In one day, you can create some nice background for your laptop. You say this is I created with some nice creative things, or that's really amazing. Okay, this is the code, maybe Muhammad. Okay, so yes, your issue is very clear, Muhammad. I said the indentation is important. Indentation means how your code is organized. T forward, T right, T forward, all this should be inside the for loop. You need to push them to the right to be considered inside the for loop. So you need to push this T and to the right, push T right to the right, push T forward.
So I press tab.
Yes, put tab. Otherwise, they are not part of the for loop. They are
Okay.
something else.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's it. Okay, see this. Oh, beautiful things. This one, I don't know how you made this one, but I can imagine. And this is, again, I like those who gave me the code and the drawing. They are very good. I remember when I was in the university, that was long time ago. I was studying a course in statistics. And because I love programming, so I used to go and create all those statistics using programming. But because my faculty wanted something done by hand, I do it by hand, and then I attach to it a copy of the computer one. So this is, I used the computer, and this is the one I did by hand. And he enjoyed, he liked it really. And yeah. So doing both is always good to show the people how things are. Okay, let's go into the coding now back. Yeah. So now if I want to create, Muhammad, your hand is still up. Okay, thank you. Now, if we want to create a function, I can copy all these things here. This, yeah, this one. We can copy it, say, and put it in a function. Let's just cut it like that, and so you understand. So if I want to create a function, I can say def draw a shape. Let me call it something like that. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
are you sharing your screen?
Let me go. You sharing something? Or who is speaking?
Anas.
Yes, Anis. Yes, tell me, Anis.
I can.
I'm not sharing. Sorry, I'm not sharing. My apology. My apology. I was not sharing screen because what I did basically, I just removed all that code that we had here. Yeah. This code, I'm just taking it and putting it in a function. Okay. So to do it in a function, what I'll do, let's leave the code there and say def is the way you declare a function. Okay. If you want to declare this is a function, you use def regardless of the name of the function. So I say arts, I'll call it a draw arts. Okay. and open bracket, close bracket, and colon. This colon means this is the start of my function. Okay. Now, when I have a function, where is the body of the function? If we are in Java, we could have used these two brackets, you remember, and put there. Here, there's no two brackets. There is the colon here, means this is the function. Now, if I want those for loops and these things I have here, part of the function, I need to move them to the right. But let me cut them first. So if I come here and just paste them, okay, now I have something called def args colon, and these things are inside the function. How I know they are inside the function? Because they are indented or moved to the right. The for loop is moved to the right. That means the for loop now inside the args function. Then those things here, t, whatever, they are inside the for loop. So, sorry. So they are repeated inside the for loop. And when they finished, okay, then the function will finish. Now, if I run this one, what do you expect to come on the screen? I know some of you will say the right thing, which nothing will come on the screen. Will come a very white, nice screen. There's nothing there. Because I created a function, but I didn't call it. I didn't call it. It's created, it's in the computer memory, but I didn't say the computer memory, call it, run it. So how I call a function, like what we did in Java, we just use the name of the function and pass any parameters to it. This one has no parameters. But did you notice it is not indented the same like the others? It's just on line 0, on column 0, because this function is on the main line like all the other thing. Import is on column 0, screen on column 0, column, these are things. When you came to the function, it's on column 0, but the body of the function is moved to the column 2 or 3 or whatever to do. But if I want to call the function, I need to call it from 0. If I do this, then this thing will start coming again. I can call the function not here, I can call it here after the speed. So I have this one, I can come here and call this function. I can call it here, and then it will be also coming. No, because I have to declare it up. Sorry, I have to declare it up unless I put it in another file. So I have to call it after I declare it, because now if I call it here, the function is not declared yet. Okay, so once I create the function, I can call it, and I can call it multiple times if I need to continue drawing like that. So I can change it. Now I can change the function in a way that becomes more flexible. Let's say I want this forward to be a number that the user can provide. So we'll say art length L, we'll call it. Okay, I use L, and I come here instead of that, I'll use L instead of the 100. Anywhere I have 100, it's L. It's L. Yeah, let me finish it all. It's L. It's L. We could have made this code even much smaller, but the circle will make it L. Now, when I call this function, I can say args 100. It will draw using 100 in the L. Now, if I stop it and say args, say 50, it will draw a smaller one to do. So now I'm passing a parameter to the function. Okay, now I can also change the angle. I'll call it A, for example. Instead of moving by 90, I'll make it move by A. Now, these things we do to learn how the function work will help us later. Nothing to do with drawing these graphics and thing, but it will help us later. So now this function requires two things. You need the angle used to be 90, we'll make it 75 this time. So I have now art 50 and 75. Oh, they came very nice one. It's like a moon or, oh, I didn't expect it. Sometimes you get things that you didn't expect. Anyway, let's run this now. We used 50 and 75. So it's drawing something else. If I change the 75 to say 45, which almost, let's see, the angle now 45. Now this is with angle 45. Now I have the option to change the shape by passing those parameters. And this is the beauty of the functions. You create a function, then you pass to it different parameters to perform the same thing, but the outcome will be something different because the parameters are different. The outcome will be different to do. Very good, yeah? Now, one more we can change is this last angle, yeah? I will call it twist, T. I'll call, no, not T. Call it TS. TS. I don't know why I call it TS. Because this one, yeah, the one. Now, after we draw everything, we twist by one, yeah? Let's make this one here and twist it by two, not one. And stop this shape. I think I'll make this in, I like the 175. And see what will come. Somehow like that. Now, if I change this one to twist by 20 angles, something somehow was different, I know. So the good thing now, I have a function called def, and I can pass to it parameters, and those parameters can change. Now I can, this range, I put R here instead of 200, and I can specify the range. Now a new function that I repeated 200, I'll make it this time repeat to 100 only, and then that. So these functions allow you to create configurations useful for producing outcomes that may be different, creative, nicer to do. Okay, I'll try the 100. So now you know the function, how it works, yeah? And as we said, the function in Python is very simple compared to the other functions in other programming languages. So we use just the word def, then we have space, we come with a name, and then we decide what parameters we will pass to that function. Those parameters important. Once you pass them, inside you need to move to the right by something, and then you put your code. In our code here is just draw this, repeating, drawing, and do that. But the code can be different thing to do. And the for loop require indentation of the body of the code by something. This colon, two dots above each other, must be there when you define the function to say this is the beginning of the function. And it's important when you do the for loop and else and if statement and all those things you need to do. Once you create a function, you can call it by using its name. We called it arts here, and supplying the parameters in the right order. Because now you know the order. L is the length, A is the angle, and you can give better name here. You want to say length, angle. You can do that if you want to do. And then that's it. This is a function. We'll use functions, which are the methods in Java. in multiple things. Let me see what questions you have. I don't see you using the question tab for anything. I like the work you produced, and in the chat I can see for those who haven't submitted your detailed yet, please do. This is from Ivy. Please do that, Shabab. Remember, Ivy put a comment for those who did not submit your details. If you later get your name wrong on your certificate, then you should blame yourself first, because maybe you wrote not a full name or the right name. We need to get those details when you give you the certificate. It should be there. So please do that. I can see this is the screen being shared now. Can you see the same? Okay, good. Did you see me while I'm doing the? Did you see the coding I was doing on the method? Was the method clear to you? The explanation of the method clear to you? Put thumb up, thumb down, things like that. Okay. Do you have any questions about the methods or the functions? We're confusing ourselves as programmers. Was clear, Arwa?
Yes.
Very good. Khadija said clear. The others are maybe writing some code and not listening to me. That will be the best. Yes, Hor. You have question, or you said?
Sir, how can we predict that what will be the outcome of our code?
This is a very good question. This is your imagination. I think you can predict to some level, but because of if you complicate it and do so many angles, switching and lifting right and going with different length, it becomes a little complicated. But it's a repetitive of the same thing. If you create a square and then you expect you're going to rotate it one angle and then draw another square and rotate one angle, you start to expect there's something will be like a circle at the end. But it's very complicated if you complicate it with different length, different angle. Yeah, I don't know, but the good thing, it will show you on the screen. You don't need to predict. Just draw it. You will see it on the screen. But if some good imagination you had before and you thought of how this will happen, or if you change the angle here and then you go up and then you lift it, but there is no way. There's no scientific way I can tell you the shape will look like that, except you draw it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so we understand now the function. Now let's get into some other things. Let's leave this drawing, which I think you sure enjoyed the drawing, but let's get into maybe some other thing. What if you want to go back and save this one? Let me send you this one first before I move. Copy. I can see many of you are really good at it. And I usually use this when I teach the first programming course, regardless of the language. I notice students get to understand now this sequence, loops, functions and methods much easier when they are in a visual way than the other ways. Muhammad, your hand is up. Muhammad Abdullah.
My design isn't. Why isn't? How can I make my design in the center?
In the center?
Yes, it keeps.
Yeah.
Half of it is it doesn't show.
Okay. There is a method called go to. If you try it again, if you can use again ChatGPT, come here, ask this
Okay.
question. I'm just showing you how you can do it. How to get turtle to start drawing from a specific location. Remember when I said up and down, when up and down, this is the way to go to. See, go to XY. At the beginning, you say go to XY, you specify your XY, where you want it to go, and then you start drawing there. Once you finish drawing, you want to move another place, you can use pin up to up, and then move to go to another place, and then do pin down and draw. This way you start drawing in different locations. Okay, I don't want you the
So if I use go to, do I put zero the x and y to zero so it stays centered?
no, zero is not the center. Zero is
What?
not the center. Where is my, see, this is your window. Zero will be here.
Ah,
Zero will be here. So you need to know how big this one. You divide it by 2, that will be x. How high this one, you divide it by 2, and then you find the center. That's the way you do it. So you need to do some calculation. This is 0, 0 here. Yeah, I can see some of you are working with this one. Let's come with a new one. Let me maybe show you this one. Python turtle. Let's do some on this pin up and pin down. Okay. Let's do some pin up and pin down, and then we will go delete this. Okay, and we'll remove all this color here, and say here circle. Let's draw a circle 100. Now circle 100 and see where this circle will be drawn. Circle 100. Okay. So this circle 100 came there, yeah, somewhere. Now let's make it only 10, so we can see it, so we can bring it back. Let's do this. Okay. Now let's draw another circle here. For example, I want to move there. By default, it will choose the center, but you need to maximize your skin. But let's say we want to move this to go here. So we can say pin up, T, pin up. This basically will take the pin up. And then we'll say T, go to, and we will say, say 150. Now we're moving it, yeah? And we'll say pin down, and again draw another 10 circle. And stop, run. You see what happened now? We have 2 circles. This circle here in the center, drawn because of this one. Now we took the pin up and we went into the location 150. 100, this is 100, and 50 is here. This is 150. Yeah. And draw that one. If I keep it there and say pin up again, pin up and go to and pin down, let's take this one here, do it here. And now we'll move it 150, we'll make it 100, 100. Yeah. 100, 100. And run. I don't know why I have semicolon here. Semicolon is not needed, but if you add it there, it will not bother about it. Okay. Now see, we have, yeah. So you start calculate how this will happen, and then that maybe will be okay. The other things I want to show you now, we want to move to something better. Now we learn now how to use functions, and we know how to do some drawing. We need to get into core Python. So you need to go to something called Anaconda. You need to download this one. Download Anaconda. Download Anaconda. Download. Here is the link. I'll put it in the chat. This is something. Well, where is the chat? Now this you'll need to download in your computer and run it from your computer. Okay, there is a way to do the same thing on Rebel, but will not be that that efficient to do. So if you get into Anaconda, then you should be able to download. Where is the download? Download, free download. Your email here. You already have my email. Free download. Here is it. Free download. I used this one a long time ago. So let me put my email. I agree to receive. I don't want to receive anything. Yeah. Okay. So please check your email. You go and check your email now. You will get an email coming to you. Let me find my email. Here is it. I'll come back, share screen. Now I went to my email and I got the link. So this is the link. There's so many versions. I'm using Mac. So you click on Mac and say download. I am using Apple processor M1, but you know, Mac run Intel and run Apple. I'm running the Apple one. So I will download Anaconda. And Anaconda being downloaded, it will take some time to download. How much time it will take, I don't know. I had Anaconda on the previous computer. Let me see. Anaconda application. Yeah, here is it. I have my Anaconda already installed. When you click, I just want to make sure I'll show you the latest one, but this is the one I downloaded long time ago. You need this one on your computer. Why? Because you can run it from Rebel, but it's not efficient because you will be dealing with large files. You'll open Excel file and do lots of processing on them. And when you do that on Rebel, will become very slow, and the visualization will not be good enough to do. But let's get this one coming.
Sir, we can't use VS Code.
Sorry?
Sir, we can't use VS Code.
You can use VS Code. You can. Yeah, you can. But you will find Anaconda is more efficient. You can use Microsoft Visual Code. Yeah, you can. I have it here on my computer, but I would prefer Anaconda because you will see from when we deal with the data, it's a more efficient to use Anaconda. But it's a little heavy, it takes some time to load. Here is it. So when you get it, I see some hands there. I'll just answer those hands before I continue. Arwa.
Sir,
Yes, Arwa. I'm listening.
can we also download it from the? Can we? Wait.
I didn't hear you. Your voice is cutting. Can you repeat?
Can we also download it from iPad?
Yeah, on iPad, yes, there is, I think, a version on iPad. I think there is a version. I don't have my iPad, but I think there is a version on iPad, yes. There are some, I will find later, Microsoft used to have something online as well, but now they removed it, I think. But I think you can download it on the app, on the iPad. Okay, so when you get Anaconda, you get this page. So Anaconda is very good in so many things. As you can see, you have so many different things that run on it. But the one we'll be using called Jupyter Notebook. So I will click on Launch Jupyter Notebook. And now taking me into this page, which will come hopefully. Yeah, it will be loading something. It takes time to load, and once it's loaded, then you're fine. I think the issue because maybe I already downloaded. Let me Control C, break this one, and Control C, break this one, stop this one, terminal. Okay. Yes. Now we are there. So you get a window like this one. Hopefully you're getting to that window. This window basically is your computer structures. For example, if you want to do something anywhere, you just select where you go in your computer and do it. For example, let's do something on the desktop. I can go to the desktop. You will see all the files on your desktop that you deal with. If you want to go up one step, you can go up one step and things like that. So let's say we go, for example, to the download folder. You can go download. If you come in your download folder, for example, and you add a new folder here, call it practicing Python. Just to be a very clear name. That's practicing Python should appear here somewhere. Practicing, is it in the order? Let's do this. Do you see it, guys? Here, yeah. Should be somewhere here. Or we need to go to the download. And then in the download, practicing. Here is it. This is the folder. So let's do the things inside the folder. Now I created the folder. Basically, I went into that folder and then we'll do some practice. Now, to start creating Python code, you need to go to the new. But click here and you will see this here coming here. You can create, of course, a folder where you can put things in. For example, session 1, we can say. I'll click on this one. Then we just rename it to session 1. And you can go inside session 1. And now we can start creating some code. So want to create a code, I click on you again. And then this is the thing I can create. I can do Python 3, version 3. This one has version 3 here, so I can do that. And if I click on it, it will just open this page for me. And that's it. Now, this is untitled, so I have to call it session 1 basics of Python programming. Okay. That's what we'll do. And let's come here, play with some of that. So let's assume we'll have something called student, and we'll create a list with the name of the student, Ahmad, Salim, Ahmad finished, Salim, John is always with us, and Steve always with us, and Layla, and we'll add 4. I'm just putting names, so excuse me if I'm. So we created the list now of student. I can do a for loop for S and student. Now I can say print S. What do you think will happen? Now the good thing in this Jupyter, you have your code into blocks. There is a block here now. I can create another block if I want by clicking this plus. So create another block, another block, another block. Okay. And each block I can put the different code. And I can run this block on its own without running the other code. Now this is very useful when you deal with large data. I'm keeping this. Usually in the first block, you load all the data in the computer memory. In the others, you process them. So if I want to run, for example, certain process, I run the code only once, that the code that read the data. And then when I come to processing that data, I can run the processing multiple times without the need to load the data, because the loading data sometimes takes a long time. If you speak about millions of rows of data, reading it once is good enough. You don't need to read it every time. And Jupyter allows you to do that. You just run this one on its own. Once you finished with running this one, you can run the other one. And to run anything here, you need control, 2 fingers, yeah? Finger on the control and keep it on the control. And then you hit enter. You come into the block here, put your finger on control and then hit enter. Now it will run the code. So now it went through and display the data on the screen. This is one way. The other way, you can use this run here. But this run here can sometimes run everything. If you run only one, you just click on that one, click on control with 1 finger, and on the other one, you hit enter. Then it will do that for you. Okay? See? So that's how it works. Now, this is a Jupyter notebook. Now, we'll see now how we can deal with complicated things through this Jupyter notebook and produce some results. But let me see if everybody already on board and you were able to download it. Were you able to download Anaconda and starting it? Anas, yes.
Sir, is it possible to use PyDroid?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. But as I said, for data, dealing with large data, Jupyter is the most effective way. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
sure. Any other questions, Shabab? I can see in the chat. Sir, I still downloading. Okay, for me, so I have to wait. Okay, wait for that. That's fine. I think it takes time at the beginning, but once you have it, then you'll be okay. To run. I will see if I can find you other. We can do, as I say, the same thing on Ripple, but will not be good. And again, if you
could you,
didn't,
sir,
sorry.
could you share the link of the REPL of functions that did last?
Yeah, I'll do it. Let's see if I still have it there. This one, yeah. I will do that. Now, the other good thing with using Jupyter, because it runs on your computer, and when you deal with data analytics, it's a sensitive thing because you don't want to share your data on a browser somewhere else. You need it to run on your computer. And when you download Jupyter and run it, you can have full control on your data. Even if you don't have internet, you can still process your data and do things related to that. Oh, I like this one as well. Thank you. I feel that you enjoy this one. Okay, so that's one thing. Now I can come here. For example, I did do the data. I want now to display it in a different way. So I need to create a function. Let's create a div. Okay, display student display student data. Let's assume I came with this one. Okay, and this one will say it will receive student. Okay, I'm creating a function now that receives something called student and then display the data. I can take this for loop from here now. I can put it inside. So now I have my new function. If I run only this one, control enter, do nothing, just create the data and store it into the memory. If I do this one here, it will do nothing because I need to say here print S. I need to indent this one like this. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now this one does nothing. So what the point of what I did? Here I just created the data and stored it in the memory. Here I just created a method or a function called display student data and stored it in the memory. Now, anytime I want to use this method anywhere, I can just come here and use it, okay? And just use it, yeah? For SN student, and I can again use it somewhere else if I want, yeah? Sorry. If I want. There's an error in this one. Let me delete this one. Display data, display student missing one require position argument for def as something wrong with this. We pass student to here, and then let's do this only. Print student set. Yeah. It's something. Oh, we did not pass the student here. So we're passing here student. And now it was. Now here we can go back and put our for loop. So for is an student column, and this will be S, and this will push it like that. Now we are fine. Now when we call it, the mistake we had, when we called it, we did not pass a parameter to it. Now the good thing here this can be student. Here we can have S capital, and here we can have S capital. Okay. Now let me just explain. In the function, we said there is a function we're creating. We call display student data. It takes a parameter called S, and then create a loop that use S small, ns, which this one, and print each element. Okay, this is good. Now to use it, I need to call the method or function and pass some data to it. The data I'm passing here is student s. This data can be also not the student s, can be another data. I open bracket here and say anything, Hamad, uh, Ali, Sabri, whatever. I can send the data inside square bracket as a list. If I do this as well, I will get Hamad, Ali, others coming on the screen, because this data will be sent, the whole data will be sent to the function display student data and will be treated as S. When you get inside, it will be broken down in multiple elements. Each element will be called small s, and then we'll go through them every time, find the first element, small s will be Hamad, will display Hamad. Second one will be A, Ali, the small s, and it will display Ali. The third time it will be seven, and continue like that to do. So you can put your code into cells, each cell, and I can also come here and call it again, that one, but this time we'll pass to it student. Okay, and this will get us the actual one, student. So you can break your code into cells, and each cell will do one thing. Later you'll see we'll upload some files here, we'll do some cleaning on the data here, we will do some analysis on the data. Then another cell will visualize the data by drawing some charts, graphs, bar charts, and things like that, and then at the end writing some conclusion of that. So you can do this thing here, or maybe something else. You can do turtle here as well. If you want to do turtle, you can do, but you need to install some library. So let's try now. Take this turtle code, which will have some issues. What's wrong with this one now? I need to stop this. Okay, let's take this turtle code. I'll show you what you will get now in this code, and then we will understand why it's having some issues. Let's take only this part, so we don't confuse too much. Where is our? Where are we? Which page? Here we are. If I come here and do this and try to run the code, I think this here is it. This is the latest version. So it came here. This is our turtle. Only challenge with it, I need every time to stop it. It doesn't stop that easy. But we'll leave it there. We'll go into here and say force. We'll find Python turtle not responding. Call it. Okay, we called it. Oh, we called this one. Oh God. Okay, let's run the code. Restart again. Restart again. Yeah, because it went into a loop and it was not working. Now let's do this here. Say T forward 100, and then T left. We're going left, yeah. 90 and T forward 100 and T left 90 and T forward. I'm repeating. Why I'm not copying and pasting this thing and make my life easy? Why I am not? Okay. Let's do the for loop as well. Let's do one more 100. No such thing. And T dot, you can say right, but let's do left 5. And then we can have 4 I and range 100. By the way, if I want to skip by 1, not going 1, 2, 3, I want to go 1, then 3, then 4, how I can do that? You can add here comma and you put that step. Now, see if this will run or it's already, same thing, yeah? Going too far, I think. I think we did something. We need to, anyway, it's drawing. It's continue drawing, going somewhere, drawing things somewhere, and maybe we'll go back after some time. This is the way we did this one. But that's going to continue. Python turtle graphic. Let me see if I can come here and go force Python turtle graphics. Where is Python turtle graphics? Python turtle graphics. It's not there. Anyway, so you can do a same thing. The good thing, you can put your code into blocks and you can organize it. The good thing, you can also put some remarks. For example, if I want to come here and add a new place in between and add some information. So I have the option to add some remarks here by using this or double, and I can write some comments that I want to add. But also I can add something here called markdown. So I'll say display the data. If I selected the data, if I select this one as a markdown, as you can see, it will treat it differently, not like a code. It will not treat it. I can add also heading. Okay, if I do heading like this, my code will look like that. So this can be a book you use to show your data. So if I did here this one, yeah, let me add another one here. I can use it like a markdown and put some description. This data will be used for whatever, yeah. So you can write some documents for your data, which you will put it there, which you will do there. So this when you deal with it, if you want it to be a code, then you need to select a code. If it's not a code, it will not be executed as a code. It will be just text or anything you come on the screen. But if you want to add a code, you display a code. So here, for example, I want to add a new one, and now this one is selected as a code. So if I do anything here, it will be treated like a code to do. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Any questions? Okay, student is the first code of the day, right? is the first code of Aisha, I didn't understand what you mean. What did you mean by this? Stephen, where are you?
Yes,
Today? Where are you today? You didn't ask any questions since morning.
or was
Yeah, tell me.
I was noticing that there was a line of code like for small s and big S, print S. Is for here a loop or a condition?
Yeah, okay. Okay. This, I think this part, yeah?
N17, yeah.
This part, okay. Let's do, make it big. Okay. So basically I'm passing and creating a function here called display student data. That's the function name. I'm passing to it a parameter called S. This S is a list of data. It's not just a normal one. It means the S, capital S, contains large data. I could call it, instead of that, I could call it list. Let's call it list. So I'm passing a list. So here we can say for S in list means every element in that list will treat it as S. S at the beginning will be the first value of that element and then goes on until the end. For each S, print that S. And this basically now go through that list, yeah, and display the data. This is how this one works this way. Now, I call it S here instead of list. It can be anything. The most important, these two should match. If this is M, this should be M. If this is list, this should be list. By using a name called list or maybe student names, maybe students names doesn't look good, but anyway, we can't put. If I call it like this, this again has to be the same here. Yeah. Is it clear?
Yeah,
Yes.
but like, what about the small variable? Like S, can we call that anything or
You
does it
can
have a
call it
specific name?
anything. I can call it student. Okay. And I can call it here student.
So for
But
anything in the list that we made,
yes,
print it.
yes.
And so you print
Anything.
everything.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, it prints everything. It goes through all of it and print everyone to do. Now, I could have printed this one directly by using, if I just, let me put a comment on this one and put a comment on this one. Now, this way I ignore these two lines, yeah? Comments, one hash means ignore it. I could have
Yeah.
used print student names like this. Take this one, and I said here just print student name. If I use this one, which will work, let me save this one first. Control Enter, and then we'll come here and we'll say this. So it will print it, but it will print it as a list with bracket, with quotation, with stuff like that. We'll print it like a list completely. But when I use the other one, if I make this the comment and ignore that, and with this and run this one, I have to run this one so it get reflected in the memory. Then I come to this one and run it. Now it's printing them one by one, because treating each one is as a separate one, going through that list and taking one by one and displaying them on the screen. This is good when you want to do some further process on everyone. Like, for example, you find the student name, and then you need to go and search another record to find the student grade. Okay, and then you do some calculation, find the student GPA, and then display it on the screen. Doing it this way will allow you to do that. But printing it as a list will just print it as a list. Will not be beneficial to do. in that case. And this will become clear later when we start dealing with some data. Okay, any other questions?
Are we going to be focusing on more drawings? Because now everything that I understand about is that we go forward, then we turn around and make squares.
Yeah, yeah. My focus will be mostly on two things. One is the basic of Python programming. You know how to write Python code, how the for loop works, how the while work, how the function created, how you can deal with the variables and modifying them and doing things with that one. And then the rest will be focused on using this knowledge to do some data analytics. Like you have student grade and you need to find the average of student grade or the distribution, or draw it and look at does it fit in the bell curve, or maybe you have sales of a supermarket, doing large data there, and you need to find what are the products that being sold more, what are the regions that buying more of this product, things like that. So helping you to use Python to get some sort of data analytics things, which will help you when you study later. You'll find you'll be giving some assignment to do some research, and you get some data, and you need to make use of this data. So that's most of the focus will be on. I did at the beginning the graphics just to get some people excited, and that's the trick I use usually. People like the visual more than the more conceptual things. Okay. Any other question do you have, Steven?
And when we were doing like define functions, right?
Yeah.
Like define greet.
Yeah.
I noticed like before the quote we put F. Does the F mean function?
Uh, no,
Like when
F.
we were doing the
Where did I use F?
in the slides of the PowerPoint.
Oh, in the PowerPoint. Oh, okay. Let me go to this PowerPoint. Where they are. Yeah, find them. This should be here. Where did which
Here, over
slide?
here.
Here.
No, we were
Oh,
at it.
the one after
Define
this.
greet. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. The F is not really function. This is formatting for the data. There are different ways to format data, to display data, like in a bold format, in is a one text, or divide it into different words. Nothing to do with the F. This we could have done it without the F. If we didn't use the F, will be the same thing. F is not related to function here.
So it's
Okay,
just
let
like a way
me.
of formatting it.
Yes, yeah, formatting. Later we'll look at how we can color those different data. I want to show you. You gave me some good idea, and this is why I'm get now excited with your idea. Where is our code? I have so many pages here, and oh, here is it. Remember that code we had about the if statement about the grade, yeah? Let's do something here similar to that. Let's come here in another cell, create a variable called grade. And let's put in the grade this 90, 67, 85, 70. Okay, these are grade. Okay. Now, if I want to create a function, I'll create a function that take each grade and convert it to A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. So let's create a function, say def mark to grade. I'll call it like this. Okay. And this one will receive something called G, which is the grade. Okay, now I'm creating a function that will receive a grade, a mark, M, we'll call it M, a mark like saying 90, and find is that A or B or C or D, like that. And let's do this, it's a good thing. So if you say F M is more than or equal 90, then we can say return A. Okay.
So return is like print.
Return is it's not like print. It's send it back to the calling message. But I can make it print if you want. But let's make it print to simplify it, and then I'll change it to return.
So here do we have to give like M in something?
Huh? What?
Like we're making a function here, right?
Yes.
Mark to
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
So when we say M, it has to understand like it's the element in the list, right?
Yeah. It should understand it's something being coming from here. M is coming from here. In this
So
case,
do we
M.
have to say like if M in like some list, like how do we do that? Because you remember in the for we did S in S.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the smallest meant the element and the biggest meant
Yeah.
the list. So do we do anything similar like that here?
Yeah, we can do that, but what I'm doing now, I need this function should deal with a single grade, not with the list. Why? Because if you want to convert a grade to a mark to a grade, okay, you need to have that specific mark. Okay, so I'm not using a list here. I'm not using a list here. I'm using a single mark that will be sent 90 or 60 or 80. A single mark will be sent. Now I will link it to the list later, but now I'm dealing with a single mark for a single student. So it's not a list. So if M for that student is more than or equal 90, that's it. If M is more than or equal 80, then we will say print B. Let's see if this one will go. And uh, F this should be more than and less, yeah? But we can use here else F, yeah, else F will be better. And in this case, this will be good. Then else F M is more than or equal 70. Here, print B, print C, and then else F M is more than or equal 60. Not Prince. When things become repetitive, I lose focus. That's me. Okay. Else F, because I'm start thinking of what I need to do next. M less than 60, then print F. Okay.
Mister, we need quotes.
Sorry.
Quotation marks for F. F
Ah,
needs
yes.
quotations.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But Mister,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
we're using this number system, right? What if we get a grade that's exactly 90? It meets two conditions.
Then exactly 90 will work because we're using more
Because
than or equal. Yeah. We're using more than or
But
equal.
90 is also bigger than 80.
Sorry?
90 is also bigger than 80. So he gets A and B. What?
Yeah, it should start from the top. First, look at if it's more than or equal 90, then it will print A. Assume now it's less than 90. It says 80, for example. Then this line will be ignored. Isn't it? It will go to the 80. Condition 80 will be executed in this case because we're using else if, yeah? If we're using without else if, we're using this way. This can be, let me cut this one. This can be cause an issue. For example, if you get 80, 80 is more than 90, isn't it? So this one will be printed.
80 is less than 90.
Is more than 80. Sorry, sorry. If you get 80, it's a more 80 is a more than or equal 80. So this one will be printed. Okay, isn't it? If your mark is more than 80, this line will come. Now 80 is not more than 90, then this one will not have issue. I think you're having some good point here. I usually use it with nested with F with the and or, but I don't want to confuse everyone. Let's look at here now. Let's look at it now. Good. Now, what the cases can happen? Assume someone is 70. If he is 70, it will print C. Right? There's no way it will print anything else. Correct? If it's 80, if it's 80,
sorry.
yeah.
I was trying to say, like, even if, okay, if he got his mark 80 exactly now, 80 equals 80 and 80 is bigger than 70. So he gets B and C.
Correct. Yeah.
If his mark is exactly 80.
Yeah. If it is 80 in this case, if it's 80 now in this case, it will do both 70 and 80. Because the mark is more than 70, it will be C. And the mark is equal 80, it will be print 2. But if we use else F, it will treat it, it will deal with it only when the previous one is false. So if I have here else F and else F here, okay, if it's 70 now, if it is 70, this one will be executed only if this one is false. If this one is false, this will run. So 70 is not more than 80. So this is false. If I use 70, for example, if I use 80, this will be executed. Once this is executed, this one is ignored because it's else condition of that statement. It doesn't belong to that. It's else. Did you get me?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because you have else, if this one is true, it will ignore this one. Finished. No need to do that one. If it is 80 is more than or equal 80, in the case of 80, then there is no, this one is not needed because this is the false statement of that one. And this way it continues going that way. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now else usually work this way. I need to do it this way. So else it work in Python this way. So let's just keep it here so we understand it. Then we'll do the remaining. Now, if grade is more than or equal 90, we'll display. If else, if grade more than or equal 80, let's use this one to do a test here before we do anything. Let's test it by sending mark to grade. And let's send here 90 first. Okay. 90 mark to grade is not mark to grade is not defined. I maybe call this something else. Mark to grade. Let's copy it as it is. Run it here. Mark to, I think I spelled it wrong. Now it's fine. So it got me A. Now if I put 80, it's getting me B. If I put 85, getting me B. If I put
So what if I
95,
want to do this for, sir?
Yeah.
So what if I want to do this for every element in the list that we made, the grade
Yes,
list?
that's a good thing. First, we'll create the function, then we'll create a loop that will go through every element and do it for each one. First, now we create a function that take any grade, any mark, and convert it to grade. And once we do that, we create a loop and do it for millions of things. Now we need another else here. Okay, we're just continuing what we do, and we will take this one. Okay, add it here, and say this one 70 will be C. Let me just finish it, and then we can do this. Need to be pushed to the right because it becomes part of that one. And here there is another else coming here, another if statement, which will be if more than 60 will be C. Okay. Let's go there.
Shouldn't it be D?
Huh? D.
We have A, B, C, and
Yeah, D. You are right. You are. It's good you're following me, and this is great. Now let's do some tests here on our data before we use it. That's important to test your function. And this is the beauty of Jupyter Notebook. I can test only one function in my own code. The other in Java and other, I need to run the whole code. And if the code is too big, it will take me ages to run. And this way I can run only. So the 65 gave me D. If I am 75, test the thing in between, it's getting me D. If I'm 70, getting me D, it's working perfect. It's just the only thing remaining is those people who have M less than 60. And bad luck to these people. They will get F. I hope they will study and work hard to, and there's something wrong with this. Who will find what's wrong with this one?
you're missing if,
You
or
need
just
to
remove
push
the
the
thing
front.
entirely.
Correct. Yeah. Is it right?
Yeah, but I think we just do with else, right?
Else only, you're right. I think print, I'll give them F because they have no hope. Good. So that's working fine. So let's get someone scored 50. That's it. Very good. So what we did now, we have a grade, back to your question, we have a grade, a list of grade. Okay, there. We have a method that, or function that takes any mark and convert it to grade. Now, how I can print these students' grades and each one beside it, the grade they need to have. So I can come with another one, def or for loop. Let's do for loop. For G in grade, is it grade lowercase or I need to go up and see?
I think it's spelled wrong up. Yeah.
Sorry?
Doctor, sorry to interrupt you. You have another meeting.
Oh, yeah. In the time in my time zone is at 1:12 now. It's 2:12 already. Thank you. I think we will stop here today. We will continue and do other things after day after, on Monday, inshallah. And we'll see how we can use these functions to do more processing. But I think we did well so far, and I hope you enjoyed today's session. I'm sorry, I'm just confused about the timing because in my time it's still 1:12, but I think it's already 2 at your time. Thank you, everyone. See you on Monday.
See you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Bye.
Thank you,
So,
sir. See you next time.
bye.